Hey, it is Monday. That means it's time for a Life Mastery Moment, and this week we are talking all about making mistakes. So chances are, if you're human, you probably believe that you've made a mistake. And if you thought about it, you could come up with a big mistake that you made that maybe you regret, or maybe there were consequences that you weren't happy with. So do me a favor and think of the last mistake that you made. Can you think of one? All right, so now I want you to imagine that we live in a world where it is impossible for you to make a mistake. In fact, there's no such thing as mistakes in this world. So standing in this place where there's no such thing as mistakes, I want you to look back to your past at those events and those circumstances that you once labeled mistakes. If they weren't mistakes, then what were they? If they weren't mistakes, then maybe they were a necessity. And if that's the case, then what was the need? What was the purpose or the reason behind that situation or that circumstance? What was the lesson behind the experience that you had? See, when clients come to me and they tell me that they've made a mistake, they usually follow that with describing feelings of regret, grief, remorse. And those feelings don't always serve us. And in some cases, we are feeling that way because we've labeled a circumstance or a situation as a mistake. We're saying it shouldn't have happened, as if we know what's supposed to happen. See, we usually say that it's a mistake because we didn't get the outcome or the result that we wanted. But the universe doesn't work that way. In my experience, the mistakes that I've made, they have continued to happen until I learn the lesson that I'm supposed to learn, so that I'm energetically aligned with what it is that I want and where I'm going in life. So are you able to look back at a mistake from the lens that it was supposed to happen? From a lens that, well, there's a lesson or there's a purpose behind that experience. And if I can learn the lesson and if I can connect to that purpose, the universe will continue to push me forward in the direction that I need to go in. If I don't learn the lesson, if I don't connect to purpose, I may continue to make the same mistake until I do. So I want you to think about that. Looking back at your life, if there were no such thing as mistakes, could there be something else there? Are there lessons that I could have learned? And it's easy to do that in hindsight. It's easy to look back in some cases and say, wow, I didn't know it at the time, but after going through that challenge, I'm a better person. So if there are no mistakes in our past, that must mean that then there are no mistakes in our future. So are you able to stand in that place where you can look to the future and tell yourself, it's impossible for me to make a mistake. There's no such things as mistakes. So if that's the case, then there is little risk involved in the decisions that I make. So I should feel free to pursue my dreams. I should feel free to pursue my goals because I'm not going to make a mistake. I might learn lessons along the way, and there may be some challenges, or what I like to call opportunities, for me to grow, for the universe to help me get better aligned with what it is that I want, but it's impossible for me to make a mistake. So is there something in your life that you'd like to do, but you've got this fear of making a mistake? And I'd like you to go back and stand in that place, stand in that world where it's impossible for you to make a mistake, and try and look at what it is that you want to do, free from that fear, because there is no such thing as mistakes. I hope you have found this week's Life Mastery Moment helpful. If so, please leave me a comment, or you can email me, jeremy@thelifemasterycoach.com. Once again, I'd like to wish you a week of peace and love. Take care. I'll see you soon.